Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Brandy Boy, back at it again with another Fallout 4 video. And for this video, I'm going to be covering my favorite Fallout 4 mods from last month, May 2022. It was yet another monumental month for the modding community with some big releases. If you haven't played Fallout 4 in a while, then you'll definitely want to jump back in after taking a look at these mods. Among them are new locations, quests, player homes, plenty of weapons, and even an entire DLC. As always, the links to the mods are down below. Let's go ahead and get right into it. In honor of Starfield being revealed recently, let's start off with a space mod called Project Zeta. If you are familiar with the Mothership Zeta DLC from Fallout 3, then you'll notice some similarities here. Consider it a spiritual successor. Basically, you'll be abducted by aliens, and you'll have to fight your way through the ship to escape. The mod was actually made by the same team, working on the fan-made Fallout 3 remaster, so you'll notice a bunch of familiar assets, all remade from the ground up. To start Project Zeta, you'll have to head to an abandoned toy store in Boston. After finding the hidden entrance, you'll realize it's actually a secret government base that houses alien technology. What a genius idea, to hide all of this under a toy store, in the middle of Boston of all places. I like to imagine that before the war, some kid wandered in here and then got disintegrated by the feds. But anyway, after exploring around, you'll eventually find an alien device which teleports you directly into the alien ship. However, you'll be incapacitated and the aliens will run experiments on you. But luckily enough, one of the aliens has decided to revolt and will help break you out. He's your new best friend, Roger, the alien. You can recruit Roger as a follower, but he doesn't have any dialogue lines. His big brain uses telepathy, I'm guessing. With Roger at your side, you can overthrow the evil alien overlords and bring justice to the mothership. And by that, I mean kill all of them, mercilessly. There's no talking your way around it, so peace was never an option. All I know is that I must kill. But yeah, after that's dealt with, the ship is all yours, and you can explore and loot it as you see fit. And if you really want to, you can even turn it into a settlement and customize it as such. But that's not all. If you head into the captain's quarters, you'll find that there's a teleporter that leads to Mars. That's correct. This mod literally takes you to a different planet. Disclaimer though, it's just a small section of Mars in some kind of dome. And just as you guessed, you can colonize this area and build a settlement here, all with custom assets added in by this mod. I should have expected this. It was only a matter of time before Preston Garvey set his eyes on Mars. Some other things added in by this mod include armor, such as the spacesuit, along with alien weaponry, like the alien blaster and shock baton. That's about all you get with Project Zeta. Overall, very cool mod. It is quite literally out of this world. Let's bring it back to Earth now, specifically the Commonwealth. It's a pretty cool place to explore, but after spending hundreds of hours wandering around, it may start to get stale. To spice up your exploration, you should try out a mod called Wren's Fallout 4. In short, this mod makes several changes to the world space, and overall it'll add in more detail and difficulty to the Commonwealth. Certain locations will be overhauled with new structures and decorations. In some cases, there will be completely new buildings and enemy spawns. For example, there is a completely new building a part of the South Boston military checkpoint, along with a couple of gunner spawns to go with it. Meanwhile, at the GNN radio station, the gunners have reinforced their headquarters with more exterior barricades, making the area just a little bit more difficult to penetrate. In Bedford Station, there's an additional warehouse with more loot, along with several other decorations. And in the Jalberts Brothers disposal yard, there's a lot more junk and even a new boss mole rat. Cambridge as a whole has received a ton of new ghoul spawn points, making the area even more treacherous to explore. If that's not enough, the raider camp near the waterfront has also been reinforced. Even Trudy from the Drumlin Diner has decided to board up her windows and build several barricades around the area. There's a few other locations that have been edited, but I'll let you discover those on your own. In total, 22 locations have been edited, and you'll naturally run into them throughout your playthrough. The mod author is looking to add even more locations in the future, so make sure to track this mod for future updates. If you're like me and have seen these same locations 100 times over, then Wren's Fallout 4 will make for a fine add-on to freshen things up. Before we move on to the next section, I wanted to suggest a simple mod which affects your gameplay. It's called Enemy Footstep Sound. It does exactly what you'd expect. It adds in footstep sounds to NPCs. They do have footstep sounds by default, but they are barely audible. How many of y'all ever noticed their footsteps at all? Yeah, that's what I thought. Never. It honestly doesn't make too much sense either, when you consider that these NPCs are carrying around a bunch of heavy gear, guns, and ammunition. But this mod changes that by adding in heavy footsteps, which you can clearly hear. A lot of other shooters have footsteps more like this, which allows you to hear your enemies when they're rushing at you.
There you are, you little bitch.
It adds an extra layer of depth and skill to the gameplay, and overall it slows things down and makes it more tactical. I always thought it was lame that the enemies in Fallout 4 were basically tiptoeing ninjas, but with this mod, you can echolocate your enemies like a bat. So if you're looking to make your gameplay a little bit more methodical and immersive, then this mod will certainly help you out. Now let's move on to my favorite part, the gun mods. First up is the iconic Colt M1911, the legendary 45 caliber handgun that won 2 world wars. That's what they say at least. Anyway, it's a classic sidearm and one of the most famous of all time. I was disappointed to see it missing from Fallout 4, but of course, modders have come to the rescue. This 1911 mod in particular is my new favorite. The best part has got to be the animations. They are smooth and snappy. They are borrowed from another mod, but they fit perfectly for the 1911. To go with that are plenty of customization options. You can keep it as the OG 1911, or transform it into a modern version with tactical lasers, sights, suppressors, a new paint job, and even a conversion for 10mm. In addition to that, there's a unique variant, the York, which sports a darker texture along with a cross and a bloodstain. Very cool. The regular 1911 though will spawn naturally through the leveled list, should you download that optional file, and it's also got compatibility with the tactical reload mod. As a bonus, the mod even includes a shovel, not for digging, but for melee combat of course. Nice. Overall, it's a lovely 1911 mod, and it's a great addition to Fallout 4's Commonwealth. Up next is another World War II classic, the Sten gun. It's a rather unique British submachine gun, and it's also simple and cost-effective. It's basically just a refined pipe gun, and it's for sure leagues better than that disgusting pipe gun in the vanilla game. I'm glad to finally see a Sten gun mod here in Fallout 4, and this one is exactly what I'd hoped for. It's got some really neat custom animations, and what I like about these is that your character holds onto the magazine as a grip when firing. Very satisfying reload on this one too. Another awesome thing about this mod are the attachments. You can use parts all the way from the Sten Mark I to the Mark V. There's different stocks, barrels, muzzles, magazines, and a large selection of sights. Finding the Sten is just like most other gun mods. It'll be injected into the level list, so you'll find it as loot from vendors, containers, and enemies. That's about it really. Simple gun, simple mod, yet expertly done. I'd say the Sten is a must-have gun mod. Now for something truly different. This is the H&K XM8. It totally looks like something you'd see in a sci-fi space movie, but actually it is a real gun. Sadly though, it never got adopted, and faded into obscurity. With this mod though, you can bring the mysterious XM8 into Fallout 4. The XM8 is basically a derivative of the G36, and this mod will use animations from the G36 mod. Of course, they fit right in, and I'm a big fan of these animations. They look smooth, natural, and got a little bit of style. It's a fairly modular rifle too. You can switch between different configurations depending on which build you're going for. You can change out the stock, switch out the barrel, extend the magazine, spray on a paint scheme, and choose between a wide variety of modern optics. The most interesting part about this mod though have got to be the legendary variants. The Experiment X14B is a modified XM8 made by the Institute that shoots at high-speed plasma balls, so it deals ballistic and energy damage. On the other hand, is the Schizo Special. It runs on garden gnomes and comes with a rather interesting paint job. Another thing, the gnomes are very slow moving, but when they land, they release the power of the sun. Now that is immersive. For the regular XM8, you can choose to release it into the leveled list, but if you prefer for it to be a unique weapon, then you can keep it as craft only. Overall, the XM8 is a wonderful weapon mod. I love the aesthetic of the rifle, and the mod itself is well made. On to the next weapon mod, the RGM-40. It's a single-shot, 40mm Russian grenade launcher. If you're looking to blow stuff up, then this is a great choice. I'm glad to see another grenade launcher mod for Fallout 4. We don't really get too many of those. Anyway, this grenade launcher mod does have unique animations, and they are quite nice. I really like the way you load the 40mm into the tube, and firing the weapon itself is very satisfying. As expected, there's not too many attachments for this one. All you can do is adjust the stock and sights, or add on an optic. The most important part are the different grenades you can use. There's a wide variety, all the way from regular frag rounds, to plasma, cryo, and even nuclear. But if you actually want to use those upgrades, then you gotta remember to craft the unique ammunition at the workbench. To get the RGM-40 itself, well, you won't find this one as loot. It's a unique weapon that's waiting for you on the roof of Fort Hagen. Once you get it, it's all yours, and you can then enjoy decimating every enemy in sight. Overall, the RGM-40 is an awesome weapon mod, and of course, it's quite a blast to use. Now we got a bunch of weapon mods, but how about a place to store them? If you're looking for an apartment that doesn't have an insanely high monthly rent, then you ought to get the Concord Hideout. The apartment is located in Concord, of course, so it'll be available right from the start of the game. Upon arrival, there will be a Mr. Handy robot that gives you a short quest. All you gotta do is grab something from the museum and then bring it back to him. After that, you'll then be given access to the hideout. It's that easy. The best part about this apartment is that it doesn't look like it's owned by the average 20-year-old college male. Every room is cluttered with all kinds of decorations and knickknacks, which gives it a good sense of character, and it truly feels like a home. It's a rather compact, yet comfy apartment, I'd say. I especially like all the amenities it comes with. It's got every type of workbench you need, even a power armor station with a force field to protect it from home invaders. This apartment is all about defense. If you're really that paranoid, you can activate the castle protocol, which locks down the entire building and closes off all the windows. Is it really necessary? I don't think so, because it's not like NPCs know how to get in here, but hey, it's cool. Overall, very neat player home mod. I like it. But if you prefer something more remote, then you should head out to the Pineneedle Rest. On the surface, it's a simple cabin player home mod, but when you delve deeper than that, you'll see just how special it really is. It's even got its own world space separate from the Commonwealth, so to get there, you'll have to take a rowboat up the stream. It's just southwest of Vault 111. Then, you'll take a lovely, cinematic boat ride down the stream, and shortly thereafter, you'll arrive at the Pineneedle Rest. It's a nice refuge to get away from all the chaos in the Commonwealth. It almost looks like the place was completely untouched from the bombs, because everything is still in good condition, but you will have to make a couple of repairs to get everything functional again. On the exterior, it's got several amenities, such as a campground, an outhouse, and even a hot tub. The interior of the cabin especially is absolutely immaculate. It's got a main living room, a kitchen, and a bedroom. It's small, but it sure is cozy, and it's got everything you need. One of the best features about this mod is the storage organization. You can drop all your items into the auto sorting container, and it'll put everything in the right places all around the property. And that's only half of it. If you head out back, you'll see that there's an ultra-secret bunker. Inside the bunker are some more unique rooms, including a working indoor shooting range. Now that is pretty sweet. There's also an armory room for storing all of your weapons, ammunition, and armor. And behind all of that is a secret bedroom. It's a little extra, but hey, I suppose the extra layers of security will give you peace of mind as you take a nice long nap in this bunker in the middle of nowhere. Overall, it's an amazing player home mod. I love the aesthetic and all the unique features. Honestly, I'd consider it one of the best player home mods of all time. And now, for the biggest release of the month, and possibly the whole year. Of course, I'm talking about the Point Lookout DLC. Not for Fallout 3, but for Fallout 4. If you haven't heard already, modders from the Capital Wasteland mod team have recreated the entire Point Lookout DLC for Fallout 4. Their entire goal is to remake all of Fallout 3 in Fallout 4's engine, and they've already got a lot of progress so far. Their first big chunk of progress is the Point Lookout DLC. It's a near one-to-one recreation, and literally everything was remade from scratch. The NPCs, the quests, the armors, weapons, all of it. They had to remake everything, which is insanely impressive. Mostly everything is the same as it was in Fallout 3, and if anything, it looks better than ever with high quality textures. There's been a few changes, including a new location, which you can use as a workshop. It makes for a pretty good shooting range too. There's also entirely new voice actors, because it's copyright to use the old ones. Don't worry though, the voice actors are very professional. If I didn't tell you, you'd probably think they were officially hired by Bethesda. All the quests are there too, and you can fully play through the DLC, as normal. Instead of playing as the Lone Wanderer though, you'll be playing it as the sole survivor, so just imagine it as a alternate timeline. Instead of the riverboat landing being in DC, it'll be in South Boston. All you gotta do is buy a ticket and then lay down on the cot, and after that, you'll be taken to Point Lookout. It's worth a trip just for admiring the beautiful environment. Either way, there'll be plenty of exploring to do. Just watch out for the locals though. The swamp people don't take kindly to outsiders. You should use the wide variety of new, or old, weapons against them, all added in by this DLC. There's 25 new weapons in total, all from Fallout 3, including the classic sniper, the double barrel, the flamer, and much, much more. There's also over 50 clothing items as well, and yes, even the consumables such as moonshine and punga fruit are back. Like I said, it's a fully remade experience. Everything is there. If you never got the chance to play this DLC in Fallout 3, then this is the perfect opportunity to do so. And even if you already did play it, then you might as well play it again. That's what I did, and it made me appreciate Point Lookout even more. It's quite a fun experience, so if for some reason you haven't already, you need to get this mod and try it out. It's probably the biggest mod we've seen in Fallout 4 thus far, and I already can't wait for the rest of Fallout 3 to be remastered. Anyway, that wraps up all my favorite mods from May. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed the mods. If you did, then make sure to endorse the mod pages and like this video. To see more content like this, go ahead and smack that subscribe button and the notification bell to get alerted every time I release a new video. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Whoa! Whoa, hey!